everyone. I'm Birdie.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to Because Of Course We Did, where we discuss life as a modern artist, the way people react to us and the things that we do, and occasionally talk about recovering from religious trauma, our own mental health journeys, and all sorts in between.
Today we're going to be getting into the weeds about being an Appalachian artist.
Ooh.
So you're from Appalachia, huh?
I am from Appalachia. So you are as well, aren't you?
I believe so. I would say yes to that.
Okay. Where did
never
you
lived anywhere else?
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in North Georgia.
Oh my God, me too.
You did?
Yeah. You didn't know?
I knew.
Oh, he knew.
I confess I did.
You knew. Yeah, so we both grew up in North Georgia in towns just next to each other, actually. And so, yes, we do say Appalachia, even though we are from Southern Appalachia.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I personally don't think that there's a wrong way to say most words. There's just like regional differences. I know a lot of people say shit like Appalachia and Appalachia.
A lot of different things.
Which I know I'm rolling my eyes slightly, but I just like, and I know that most people seem to think that people from like Upper Appalachia call it Appalachia, but I just like the way it sounds. And as an artistic person, if I like the way it sounds or looks, that's what's right for me.
Yeah. Well, also you're from there, so that's what everyone else said growing up. So
yeah, but that's also a very strange phenomenon because I feel like a lot of people are now saying it Appalachia, even in North Georgia, which I think is so odd because like even like the old men in their overalls and overshirts were saying Appalachia. As far as I knew, like it wasn't really a question. Like people in North Carolina, I wouldn't really like to say Appalachia, and I was like, that's fine. That's just where you're from. But yeah, I mean, I've always wondered if people cared about like if Georgia was part of Appalachia because like it's the start of the Appalachian mountain range.
It's where the Appalachian Trail starts. But
yeah, and that's where we're from. It's the foothills of Appalachia, and it definitely is. And but that's just what I call it. And I think it sounds the nicest. It sounds the most musical and beautiful, and I like it better.
Same. So I'm gonna keep saying it, even if
you can say whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. If you like saying Appalachia, do it. That's your perokidokido.
And how do you feel about Appalachia?
It's a mixed bag. I love it. I love I don't know obviously mountains. I love mountains. I love specifically the Appalachian Mountains. How they just kind of slowly roll. We tried to put one in the back, but it's raining today and it's foggy. So
yeah, we're coming to you from the car because we needed to get out of the house as we both work from home, and getting out of the house on the weekend feels a necessity to mental health. So yeah, we're up actually at a mountain range in Southern Appalachia. We currently live in southwestern Virginia, which is, even deeper in the Southern Appalachians. And there's a beautiful mountain range behind us, but it is a chilly, foggy day here in rural Virginia. So here we are.
Still beautiful, though.
Still beautiful.
Looking like a Andrew Wythe painting out there, which, you can't be mad about.
I wouldn't be.
So how do you feel about Appalachia?
I feel like I grew up with a very strange view, I feel like, of Appalachia. Like, I've only ever basically lived in Appalachia. I was born near Atlanta, Georgia, but I grew up most of my life in North Georgia, very North Georgia, extreme North Georgia, right on the border of Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. And I never felt very connected to it growing up. It always felt like I wasn't really part of it, which is strange because my whole family is from Georgia, from as far back as I have any knowledge of it, but it also was like a disconnection from the South as well in a weird way. Like I just didn't know if I really connected with it. Like I've always had this odd kind of, like, I don't know, is this where I belong? Like, I don't know. But as I've gotten older, I have grown in my affection for it. And like, it's the most beautiful place in the world to me. Like nothing really compares to how beautiful it is.
I would agree with that. And I think that a lot to do with that is actively learning things about it.
Like identifying trees and flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what is that? Oh, that's rattle one off.
You're putting me on the spot here. Like wild dwarf irises.
Those are good.
Mayaples.
Rhododendrons.
As I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate it so much more. And like, I've never lived outside of really Southern Appalachia other than, being born in, it's still Southern Appalachia in a way, but being born in Atlanta. But I've live now in Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. And I've grown such an extreme appreciation for it and an understanding that I just don't think I would be happy living anywhere else. So I guess you can say I've grown to love it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just like, I guess I've grown more to be more defensive of it. Like, it is my home. Like, I don't know. I guess like in this like long search of trying to figure out where I belong, I realized that I do belong here. Like, this is my home. I may not be like the people I grew up around, which I don't think I am, but I'm still part of it. And there are other people like me, such as yourself.
Such as myself.
In the area, and there are people who care about the things I do, and really, like, I think a lot of the things like not respecting it. Like, I feel like people didn't necessarily respect it. They were just kind of, this is mine. Like,
right.
But there's such an interesting, there's a lot of tawdry history, but there's also really good history of people making beautiful things and honoring, like, there's so much, like, I think I've grown in so much respect for like people who did, like, they didn't have options. So they learned herbal medicines and made what they needed, but made it beautifully.
Absolutely.
And yeah, they may have had some weird ideas about things. They may have not been perfect, but none of us is perfect.
That's true.
And if you pretend like any group of people is or any region is, you're wrong. And so, yeah, I guess I've grown to love it and support it, though I'm still working on the process of feeling more a part of it. But I think just like loving it and wanting to protect it, not necessarily preserve, I feel like is the wrong word. It's just like let it develop in a more beautiful and helpful way.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And I feel exactly the same way. But I feel like, you know, from social media and our friends and like people we've known in our past, I feel like there's a small movement of people that love Appalachia and its roots but are, you know, more liberal leaning, which is strange because, you know, most people you see around
Very conservative.
Very conservative. There's lots of Trump signs around. Unfortunately. And, but I feel like there's a small movement growing of people our age that like they're getting into the arts. They're covered in tattoos. They have like a deep love for possums and raccoons and various Appalachian creatures.
Yeah, like new Appalachia is rising somehow.
Yeah, new Appalachian is rising.
Which
and
is
I
a
think
good feeling, like that something is growing good out of a lot of shit that's happening.
And I desperately want to be a part of that movement.
Yeah, we're working on that.
So like Appalachia has a lot to say because it's a pretty big place, but people have historically, you know, not given a shit about it. And that's unfair because it's really cool.
Yeah, but unfortunately, some people are giving too much. Like, there's that weird combination of like it's good in ways that it's becoming more popular, but also terrible. Like, because it's terrible in some ways, but also great in others, and that's an unfortunate thing. Like, I kind of hate that everyone wants to live here now because, like, excuse me, why are you coming here and destroying everything? Like, literally destroying it is what my major problem is, that people coming and tearing down our forests and disrespecting ways of life without even beginning to try to understand it. Like, there are so many people that I disagree with fundamentally with their worldviews, but I don't think that everything that they think is wrong. And I don't think that they're necessarily evil. Some people kind of evil, but a lot of the like... I think expecting anyone to be perfect, I think, is a little bit...
You're asking a lot.
You're asking a lot, and no one is. And if anyone thinks that they are, they're wrong. But that's kind of a different subject.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But yeah, there is definitely the interesting thing of liberalism growing in the South.
And, you know, that probably has a lot to do with transplants that are, you know, they're bringing their ideals, but also want to integrate it into the culture. And so there's a meeting, you know, somewhere in the middle. But there's people like us that like our families have lived here for generations, and we don't see eye to eye with our families or their extended family or their peers. Like, we're very different, and we grew up here. But like new people coming in can also be good to encourage your thought processes. Like people who have similar views to you. Like I feel like that helped me meeting some people when I was younger who there were things that I maybe had some trouble with, but they were like, yeah, this is completely reasonable. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, no one said that before. No one validated my
like, guys,
my
what's
concerns.
wrong with gay people? Like nothing. Oh, you see, I always suspected.
Yeah. It never made sense to me before, but there it is.
Yeah. And bringing it back to thinking about art in the like liberal conservative divide in the South, which is growing, which is kind of crazy. But I think people still see like the South and Appalachia as like really conservative, and it is, but it's also not. Like we live in this little town in rural Southwest Virginia, which is a very odd place. Like we currently live there, but it is more liberal than everywhere else around. And people are moving here in order to live in a place like this and experience the living in the country, but also having people around them that have similar worldviews and everything. And it's not perfect, but it is interesting because it's growing and it affects the way, I don't know. I was wondering if it like affects the way that art is perceived, because I feel like they do, even though I don't love all the art that's produced here, there is art produced here. And I do wonder if there's an effect on the fact that liberalism is growing here, even though art's always existed in the South, but it's changing and the way it's viewed is being changed. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that one. But I do wonder, it's like people have always made art in Southern Appalachia, but I do wonder if like the rise of liberalism is helping people make more money off of it, because I feel like liberalism has more respect a lot of the time.
Yes.
For art. Like art, in my opinion, growing up, it was like, it's not something that you could like make a living on, and it's not something that has a lot of value. But that also may be some of my religious stuff in there too, because it's not serving the kingdom of God.
See, I think therein lies the problem, is that like, if you are pursuing arts in any form or fashion, it's not furthering the kingdom of God. It's, you know, you're doing something that you have this deep desire to do. And I guess it's, you know, you're trying to do something for yourself, and you in Christianity, you're not allowed to do anything for yourself. They always do. Even though they always do, especially
but it's not right for you.
Yeah, but that kind of thing. And that's where I think it stems from, where liberalism is often more associated with not being religious. And so there is that divide there with Christians versus non-Christians, I guess. Mm-hmm. So like they don't prize art, especially modern ones. Obviously in the past, that's not the case, because they viewed art as glorifying God because it was like the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, I mean, historically, like we were talking about, that the church has supported art and science. And it's interesting how in our country now, it doesn't support either. Yeah. They're just like, ew, science, that's evil. And like, it's interesting because before they were like, oh, like people having these gifts of art or understanding the world that God created was so important. And then they're like, oh shit, that maybe makes us question whether or not God exists. I hate that. Crush it, crush it, crush it, crush it.
Yeah, pretty much. They got too far.
That's too much. No. I was like, I do wonder sometimes, like, if like more liberal non-Christian people, like they do seem like they're more supportive of arts, but sometimes it feels like they're not in a way. Like, I don't know, but I suppose it's just people. Yeah, like, it's really just people. Like, there's so many people who are so negative about you, like
pursuing something.
Yeah, they're like, well, there's not enough room, basically. I mean, I think it's kind of like their fears that like it's going to become oversaturated. But I just don't believe in oversaturation in art, because like it's all so freaking different. It is oversaturated if everyone's copying everyone. But if you're creating your own art, there's no way that you could oversaturate.
Yeah. There's only one you. Yeah. And only you can produce your art. It's going to be different from everybody else's. And that's great. That's how it should be.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about art in the sense of like people's view of it, like we were talking about with, I was like thinking about it. I think I said something about it, but like the art being always part of Appalachia, but like it being different now. And I was like thinking about, like there are things like folk art paintings or like face jugs or whatever. And for the most part, people think of those as kind of inexpensive sort of garbage objects. I mean, some people have a lot of respect for them, but also people, I think it is viewed as like lowbrow art, you know, it's not really, and I just wonder sometimes is like if people devalue art from Appalachia more in general than they do in other places, because there's such a like along the whole country, it's like there's a down on the South on the whole, but Appalachia has a special extra like good morning Appalachia, I got a mighty cute sister and an extra set of thumbs.
And that's just not how it actually is.
No, it's like, I think people forget that
some
it's
people are, but.
true, but I think people forget that it's just a place like any other place. Like, and people don't vary that much. They think they do more than they actually do, I think.
That's true. Like, people just undervalue Appalachians entirely.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the whole thing, like we were talking about, like we talk about off and on a lot, like just the accent thing, like how accent, like people have tried to get rid of their accents because people devalue people with like Southern Appalachian accents so much faster because just of the way they talk. And then that's something that we've talked about as well, because neither of us has a very strong accent. But I do wonder if that was something that we were taught even subconsciously by our parents to not do because of the undervaluing. But also it's kind of sad to lose regional
dialect and accents and culture.
And stuff. Like I do sometimes, but like I can put on a Southern accent super easy, but my accent just isn't normally very Southern, just naturally when I'm talking. It's just like whatever.
But if we're back home in Georgia, it just comes right back on. You don't even think about it. It just snaps right back on. They call that code switching.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, what is that called? It's called code switching, my dears. That's what that's called. I was like, no, I'm not a stranger. I'm from around here. Which I'm like, it's fine. Like, I don't think it's like a bad thing to do, but it's not like my actual accent. Though I have known people who have the Southern accent. But I mean, there's also the question of like, is it on the whole a bad thing that like people have started to, I don't know, it's like it's good and it's bad. Like people starting to look at it a little bit differently. Like everyone wants to live in Southern Appalachia now, but they don't, because like a lot of it they don't want to live in. They want to live in like two places. So,
yeah, that's that's what annoys me, is that like people want to live on the landmass because of, ecological things, because it's temperate and it's beautiful, but they don't give a shit about the culture that's already there.
Kick it out.
Yeah, they just like, no, we'll just level all those beautiful trees and build, high rises and data centers and things, and not give a shit about what the people that already live there do, because they can
think
afford to buy them out.
They don't deserve any respect either. Like they just view them all as like a big group of garbage that doesn't deserve anyone's respect. And I don't think that's fair. And like,
it's not true.
Some people don't deserve your respect after you have. I'm a big believer in that people deserve my respect until they've proven they don't. Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's a Southernism. I hope it's an everyoneism. Like, I just like, I'm going to treat you nicely and respectfully unless you've given me reason not to. And you don't deserve it just because you're older than me or just because you whatever your situation is. But people don't give that to Southerners. And like, I think it's a very strange phenomenon. So many people wanting to move to the South, especially the Appalachians, but they're just like, yeah, fuck those guys. Like seriously, we're not all evil. Like, I mean, some people are, but some of you are too. Damn.
There's good.
You Northerners produced Donald fucking Trump, so leave me alone.
Yeah, but there are no evil people and no good people. People are just people.
Indeed, they are. They do evil things and good things, but
correct.
They aren't in their souls necessarily. It may feel like that sometimes, though. Yeah. But like, I feel like the thing that irritates me the most is people not even asking. Like, they don't even try to find out. Like, there are so many people where I've just been like, I may not know everything about you, but you are lovely. Like, there's so many lovely people that I have met throughout my life. We may have different views on things, and there is a point in that. Like, there is a point where it's like, I can't with you because you can be as nice as anything to me. But it's like just this idea, I feel like you're being just as bad as anyone else if you've decided that people don't deserve respect or compassion or understanding for the varying stimulus of their life. Like, you don't know these people. And I just feel like there's a special kind of hatred. And I'm not saying the Appalachian people are in any way immune to hating people. I grew up with the concept of Floridians all over the place. People, we're not perfect either. Like, but we're human beings. We don't deserve some special level of hatred because of the ignorance that so many people have displayed. I don't think that's fair, but like, you're being ignorant too. But
That's the
back to
truth.
art in Appalachia.
Having a hard time keeping on that topic.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I have a lot to say about this because, like, I mean, I understand because I went from this place of just being like kind of a little bit, I don't want to say exactly ashamed, but just kind of not really prideful at all of where I'm from. And like realizing that it's like other places, like we've been to Maine, we've been to Vermont, I've been to New York, I've been to other countries. Like it's just not that different, guys.
No, it really isn't.
Like it may look different, but it's not that different. It's all like people who have their good qualities and their bad qualities. And there are places that are somewhat better and somewhat worse. And there are places that suit you more than some places and suit you less. Yep. But it's not like there's a special good or a special bad.
People have, desires and needs, and they're the same for, most people. Most societies have, a certain set of rules, and people have desires. Like people don't vary that much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like back to art again, like I am an artist in Appalachia and I've only ever sold in Appalachia, barring, online sales. Mm-hmm. And people are very receptive to it. Like people are like, I feel like there's like this idea that like Southerners and Southern Appalachian people don't care about like beauty. They don't care about anything. I'm like, I think we care about it more than you realize, like especially natural beauty. But there are so many amazing Appalachian artists. And there are some people, like there's definitely people who have been like, this is like, especially if you're in a poorer area, they're like, oh, it's too expensive, or this isn't a way to make an income. Like you have to be doing something else. And that is a pretty pervasive idea that like you can't make money this way. And I don't know if that's true other places because I've only ever lived in Southern Appalachia, but I feel like there's an idea that you can't do it, but a lot of people do.
Oh yeah.
And I think I have a hope and a feeling that there is going to be a rising like group of, like we were talking about, like new Appalachian artists, and it's already happening, and it could be like really beautiful,
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm seeing online and, in person at like art markets and other events that like, there's people around our age, younger, older, that seem to really deeply care about Appalachia, and they're presenting that in their art. And it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, celebrating the beauty of Appalachia. And I honestly don't have a big problem with people moving to Appalachia from other places. I just want you to show a little bit more respect and don't
hurt it. It's fragile.
Don't come here and hurt it. It's fragile and it's beautiful and it's important. And there are beautiful people here who will be happy that you're here. And
absolutely. Like they can be very welcoming.
But if you aren't kind, then they're not going to be kind. Like that's just a reasonable idea. And I just wish that people cared more about respecting it. And it's, I have a lot of feelings and a lot of sadnesses and a lot of concerns.
There will be multiple episodes about Appalachian stuff.
I feel like we should end this by saying, don't move here. It's terrible.
Yeah.
As everyone would wish us to who lives here, because it is hard. Like the living expenses are hard. It's getting harder and harder to live here. But I think it's good for people who care about it and want to support it and love it to live here. And if you don't, stay out.
Yeah. If I don't understand why you would move here or stay here if you don't care about it. I don't get it, but people do it
for anywhere. Like, why would you want to go there if you just don't care? I don't know.
I don't know. If you're in Appalachia and you want to be an artist, you should absolutely do it.
Yeah, and then we can be friends. You want to hang out?
We should be friends.
We should be friends.
We're
in the market.
Yeah, we're in the market.
Always in the market for new friends and art friends. Mm-hmm. We love you and we'll support you.
Absolutely. And that's it.
Well, thanks for chatting.
Yeah. This is nice.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Listening, whatever it is you're doing. Keep making art, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. We should figure out some kind of outro.